Get ready, present, fire!
This is Jim Wackles from the UCal clan, bringing you a Napoleon Total War gameplay. This is a replay, me and Gillis in one team, and it's a 2v2 versus 2 random opponents. So for my army I brought, I believe, 3 Hungarian hussars and a 1st hussar, 5 Grancers, 3 semi-elites in this corner, and 5 German Fusiliers. Now for Achilles' army, while we get underway and move to our enemy, here's a Warrior Scots Grey, 15 hussars, 10 hussars, the Connaught Rangers. It looks like I'm counting 6 foot units here and 2 elites. Yep, 2 elites, and Major General Picton. And for my general I got the Archduke Charles, and there is my Empress. Oh, so my opponent brought 4 foot guards, I believe, 4 foot guards indeed, 5 hussars, a normal general staff, and a backbone of 4 musketeers. TNC Ban here, I believe that's what he's called. He brought 3 Foutigers, in fact, 2 young guards, 5 normal line units, 3 National Guard, and 2 more normal line units, so that adds up to 7, and 3 Old Guard. There's a stunning leg of cavalry here. So what is he going to try and do? He's gonna try and move onto me whilst this opponent is attacking me to double team me. So here I notice the enemy is behind a ridge, and I can actually move in my cav without getting shot, but he actually was moving up a second ago, so I thought I did go for a charge. I get some bullets shot to my cavalry, but towards my cavalry, but I definitely get a lot of Fusilier kills here, and more importantly, I just caused this massive disruption that will focus him to go back or get gobble slotted. So the French guy is actually pushing me here, the square. I'm not quite sure why he does that, but I actually have a little regiment. I always place this in between me and my ally on this map to stall any kind of advances like this. So I should have moved it over here, like to get more protection from the forest, but this will do just fine. So my plan here is to really use the ridge to my advantage, so that like maybe 8 of my units and some cav can really pin down this whole huge army here, and then send a lot of support into this forest. I believe Ach's plan is just to try and box the French guy in, and whilst keeping me alive. So he's at first sending some support towards me, and then this side of his army is actually gonna push their flank. So here I'm engaging in the forest. Prussian Fusiliers are very superior to the Austrian ones, but what you see as playing as Austria, that if you take good position, your units can definitely still beat the enemy. And this actually, look, when you're Prussia, although he brought, of course, a lot of foot guards, so he does have less men, but you really see that quickly his whole army is occupied, and he doesn't have a lot of leftovers. Well, I definitely can spare like 5 line units and some cav to support my ally or do any kind of flanking maneuvers. So here I make a little mistake. I get my musketeers behind the ridge. I actually plan to have that ridge block the volley from the foot guards, but actually it worked into my disadvantage, and I should have ran out here instead of walked. So other mistake here, I have my Grancers set up, but I forgot guard mode and I didn't pull them back, so like 1 or 2, maybe even 1 Grancer is gonna get caught in this melee range here. So he's gonna start and engage the foot guard, and then this Grancer is just gonna be absolutely shred up without getting a volley off. And then here we have just some skirmishing. I'm getting my single Landwehr unit in here to just stall these lights, just make sure they don't burn up too quickly. So I'm charging, and the musketeers here, they got too close, so I gave them a volley and gave them a downhill charge. That actually works pretty well when you're Austria, because you have 1 extra melee defense. Enemy makes a little mistake here, charges the Freikorps into his own back lines, but it's in the jungle, so in the woods, so it's not gonna do too much damage. So here the foot guard actually was forced to square up by some cavalry I sent in, but it got blocked off and got shot up by the superiours, but actually it allowed me to move up my line. However, I wish to place it here, but for some reason, with control problems, I believe, it moved up to this side, so this line is going to get absolutely shredded as well. So too late with the square here, another mistake. You really see how I should have been crumbling a long time ago with all these mistakes I'm making on this side that is for me. But just because the Austrians have so many numbers and actually morale as well, they are just holding on pretty well. You see this German Fusilier just taking a lot of damage, and it's within cav, it's getting shot by a foot guard, and at 70 men it's still there fighting. And I believe when you are Prussia or France, for example, your units definitely route a lot faster. So always keep these open firing lines when in the woods. You do not want to shoot uphill in woods. That's just gonna absolutely shred your units. You see this superior musketeer getting absolutely beaten up by this German Fusilier that definitely has lower firepower. So what I'm doing here, I'm picking up a light. I see there might be a assault coming from here, from the old guard and stuff. So I'm gonna put this light into the forest to stall them, just prevent them from really getting to my Czech regiment. I'm gonna set up the Czech regiment, fire some volleys, try to stall this foot guard and then charge in later, so that I actually have a superiority in numbers here for just a little more time, so that they will not break too quickly and Achilles can actually keep flanking. Because if he has to get this part of his army all the way over here, by that time I'm probably have been beaten, and he's going to be tired as well and fighting uphill, and that's definitely going to result in a loss. So I don't want this area of the map. It's very important for me to hold, and that's also why I'm not engaging this middle center, this center area. I'm not engaging yet. I will do shortly, because I notice the Prussian is actually taking distance from this hill, and I don't want to lose it. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to push him away, make him scared. I'm actually winning on this side, and I'm forcing him to fire a bit onto my landwehr, so I can really use this perfect wedge that will cover my line, but still allow my line to fire back to any cav that would be incoming. So at this point I notice that the cav is gone, and it's here, and once again too late with the square, and that just feels terrible. There's a bit of delay this time, so I do tend to wait to the very last moment before I square, just so that I may get the most kills on the enemy cavalry units. But then when the reaction is a little bit slow, it tends to work into my disadvantage. So actually this whole cav block going on here, getting charged, the cheap hussars with low morale getting charged downhill from the good first Hungarian the first hussars, so they're actually gonna rout, and this TNC Ben here knows that he's just gonna lose this, his ally is gonna lose this cav engagement, so he's forced to square up in the first instance. But when he noticed that we're not attacking his old guard, then he unsquares and tries to get some volleys off. I believe he will actually rout the Royal Scots Grey, but the first hussars really just took down for 1k worth of cav or something, whilst they're only like 800 GP, and they're still alive, still rolling. So I'm actually charging downhill versus this foot guard. A lot going on. Sorry for that. I might just slow it down now for a second. So here my lights get charged. I notice that I'm getting depleted in the center, so I'm bringing up my Emperor's Own. I will notice these units in a second. They came back from routing, so Achilles is now set up in position. He decided to cancel his flanking maneuver just because there's still a lot of meat left here, so we figured it would be better to defend the hill, or at least that's what I'm thinking. He never said that to me, but I'm assuming that's the case. So it would be better to defend the hill, just keep the Prussian at bay and try to make them funnel more units in here. And that's exactly what they're going to do in a second. So back to normal speed. Here the hero is going to set up. I noticed that there's a ridge here, so I'm actually going to cover this unit from any cav. I believe I will get a small volley in there. not quite sure. But then I know, no, I won't. So I noticed the foot guard is moving up. I already took this into account. There's a ridge here, so I'm just moving back behind it. So I won't even get any casualties, I believe. So Great Britain now, Achilles now won out with a cat fight. So the old guard is kind of stuck here. He's probably gonna move up a line to deal with it. Yes, he is. So I decided to disengage my lights, get them within the cover of the forest so they can rest. And look, you don't want to just go. If you're Austria, you don't want to go like, oh, I'm ahead in the light fight. I'm just gonna rush in and kill their shit. That's a terrible idea. You just want to keep the advantage in position and then start flanking. Never take on a straight up fight. That's not a good idea. Never ever do that. It's good if you're like England or Britain, it's called. Then you can do that. You have the superior firepower. But once again, Austria don't take the straight up